Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar with the Amazon Business Seller Program. Today we'll be walking through the highlights of Seller Central, how to manage your account settings, how to track your performance, how to read your business analytics, how to set up product advertising, and then of course how to manage your inventory and fulfill orders. We'll also talk a bit about business seller specific items, and then at the end if we have any questions we can go over those at that time. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start in the upper right hand corner. This is the Seller Central homepage. When you go to sellercentral.amazon.com, you log in using the credentials that you received at the time of registration. When you come to the Seller Central homepage, you'll see a few things, including widgets that give you an idea of what's going on with your account. You have your orders widget here, performance here, payment summary here, sales summary here. Your orders widget will let you know if there are any orders in pending status. That means the order has been set by a customer, but the verification process is going through. They'll remain in pending status until at the time that payment has been verified, they'll move to the unshipped status. You can view your orders by clicking through the link, and it takes you to your Manage Orders page. Same goes for the performance widget. You can see messages outstanding from buyers, any items that might have claims stacked against them, or if you have any messages under or over the 24-hour target, which is one of the performance metrics we'll talk about later. You can also see your account health here in the widget and click right through to the account health area that's under performance customer satisfaction. Your payment summary will let you know if you need to add a deposit method. If not, then if you already have done so, then this information will not be there, and the balance will reflect all of the payments that have come through to your Amazon account after an order has been confirmed. You won't see the balance tick up until an order has been confirmed, and then you will see on your reconciliation schedule under reports, settlement reports, under payments, when the balance is transferred to your bank account. You can also see a quick flash of what's going on with your sales summary, and if you want to see deeper statistics on sales, then you can click through here to see your sales statistics, which also map back to your business reports. We'll go ahead and get started by going over the administrative items under the settings drop down. In the upper right hand corner you have a number of different tools that you can use, one being the search bar, which is a really robust search engine within Seller Central. It does not go out to the greater World Wide Web, but rather looks for information on Seller Central. You will see FAQ and help pages return results as we go through this demonstration. Under the settings drop down, we have a couple of different fields that we want to focus on today. Account information, notification preferences, return settings, shipping settings, tax settings, user permissions, and info and policies. Because this is Amazon business account, not many reasons to focus on the gift options. As far as account information goes, takes you to your seller account information page, where under your seller profile you can go in and update your customer service email and your customer service reply to email, along with adding a customer service phone number if you so choose. You can also see that this is where you can add deposit methods or charge methods to add credit card information or need to change it. And if you need to set your account to inactive from active status, you're going on vacation, or you just need to stage the account for maintenance, you can click between active and inactive status here under vacation settings. Your business information is handled here in the business information table. Shipping and returns information also here under the shipping and returns information table. We can see those settings also available in the drop down here. Tax information, if you have not yet provided it, then you should do so here. If you want to use the Amazon engine to collect tax, then you will use it under tax settings. First, we'll talk about user permissions and notification preferences. User permissions is the field where you go to add other users to your account. Simply put their email address separated by comma into this field and send invitations. Once they've accepted the invitation, then you can go in and edit their permissions or delete their user account. You can also set up notification preferences. Notification preferences are set up for order notifications, listing notifications, and report notifications. To edit your notifications, simply click the edit button on the top of whichever table applies. You can add email addresses, up to 3 for order notifications. You can also add additional pending return reminder notification email addresses. You can put in alias email addresses here so that if you have multiple subscribers within your organization who want to receive a certain notification, you can achieve that through an alias that you build internally. Next, we'll talk about return settings. So once you have fulfilled an order and a customer receives it, they have a couple of different options for how they want to return the item based on the settings that you put in here. So you can choose to authorize each request. You can have Amazon automatically authorize the requests that meet our policy, or you can have Amazon automatically authorize all requests. If you want an optional override, you can make it SKU-specific return rules to override the default. You can provide a prepaid mailing label, or you can have Amazon generate a mailing label that is unpaid, so the seller can generate the mailing label and put it on their package, but then they have to pay for it at the time of the carrier. As far as shipping settings go, we're still currently under a weight-based or item-based model. If you want to change your shipping model, you can click the button here. You can choose to ship by price banded method, which essentially means that shipping is charged based on the total amount of the order and the rates that you determine, or you can do it on a per item or weight-based model. If you choose to keep the per item or weight-based model, the first thing you do is select your region and service level. So that means here are your regions here in the left-hand column, and then you choose the level of service that you want to provide for each region. So let's say that we do not want to service PO boxes, but we do want to service anything affiliated with the United States. We can go to click continue. And then under the rate components, you can choose between item or weight-based. In line with that row is the amount that you'll charge either by weight or by item. Each field also offers a per shipment area where you can associate an additional handling fee with that type of shipping setting. One caveat on the per weight model: if you're the only provider of data for a product, then the weight that you assign to the product will be used for the calculation of the weight-based model. If you are making an offer on an item that already exists on Amazon and multiple people are making offers on that ASIN, then you're not guaranteed to control the weight that is associated with that product. So the calculation will be based upon the weight that the website determines as being the weight for that product based on overall contributed data. Continue and confirm in order to save, and your shipping settings are locked into place. Shipping settings will reconcile on the detail page whenever a customer is searching for a product and looking to add it to cart for total price. If you want to use our tax engine, then you can go to tax settings, click through the methodology. It's 4 pages of documentation that you should review with your associated tax or finance teams. To jump to the last page where you update information, you can go to your tax collection settings page. If you want to collect tax on all items, then you use the default product tax code A-Gen Tax, or select the tax code that applies to your product types. As an Amazon business seller, you can enroll in the Amazon Tax Exemption Program, which allows you the ability to extend tax-free purchases to Amazon business buyers who have been vetted through our system as having tax exemption. If a customer has tax exemption, then you will receive information on that in the tax reconciliation report, and you will also be able to request that certification through seller support. If you want to collect tax in all jurisdictions, there's a checkbox to do so. If you only want to collect on a state-by-state basis, then you choose the jurisdictions and you provide the state registration number for that state. If you want to use a custom rate for a certain area, you can do that at the state level, and the custom rate is provided by you. Otherwise, the Amazon tax collection engine has a database of rates from which it pulls. Your info and policies is the last administrative item we'll talk about. This is where you can add additional qualitative information about your organization. You can add information about the seller logo, written information about returns and refunds, and so on. Specific to Amazon Business sellers are the credentials and certifications, which allows you to attribute diversity credentials or quality certifications to your selling account. These items will be featured on your seller page or on products that you're selling when they're on the detail page. In order to add a credential or certification, you select one from the list, or you tell us about a credential that we don't have on the list. Depending on which one you select, you have to add additional information and then submit your application. If you want to learn more about return settings, for example, you can leverage the search function. When you leverage the search function, it pops out a help box. We have an area called Seller University, which is full of helpful videos and other types of documentation, or you can go to any of the returned results for a specific subject. If you need to contact seller support, you can do it through the Contact Us link that's available in the pop-out window. It's not available here because it's a test account. If you have an outstanding case log for tickets that you've cut with seller support, you can view that through your case log window. Or if you want to look into seller forums, what other sellers might be saying about a topic that you are interested in, you can do so through the seller forums link. Back to the home page, now we'll start to discuss seller performance and tracking your reports. Under seller performance, if you go to customer satisfaction, you'll see a summary tab for your account health, customer feedback, and other items that have to do with your seller performance. The account health indicates at a very high level what's going on with each subcategory of your account health, and customer feedback gives you a window into what type of feedback you're receiving from customers. If you click on the account health tab, it gives you a much more granular look into your performance checklist items and the different items as they're associated with target metrics. For example, order defect rate in the short term and the long term is tracked, and the target is less than 1%, meaning that less than 1% of your orders over time you hope to receive negative feedback or have some type of claim filed against you. For recent customer metrics data, pre-fulfillment cancellation, late shipment, and refund rate are all percentages that are tracked. Refund rate does not have a target because it's something that you cannot necessarily control. The late shipment and pre-fulfillment cancellation rates do have targets. These are areas that you want to try to maintain. If you start off a little bit rocky, that's okay. You have a little bit of a grace period. But overall, you're trying to track on target or better than these metrics. You will be associated with ultimately what's called a perfect order percentage, and that will be calculated on the overall performance of each order that you fulfill. The higher your perfect order percentage and the better you track on metrics, the better it is for you as a seller and overall your reconciliation on products over time. If you do have questions about A to Z guarantee or chargeback claims, we encourage you to read up on these two areas. This would be in the event that a customer is dissatisfied with the situation. A to Z claim would come from an issue where they felt like they were dealt with in a fraudulent way, perhaps could not get the product that they ordered, were not dealt with in the return process in a fair way, something along those lines. A chargeback claim would be if a customer claims that they never received a product for which they paid. You also have a field for feedback and performance notifications. You can also generate reports on your seller performance. So you can go into order quality report, performance over time, or performance by product group. Under the reports section of Seller Central, you have payments, selling coach, business reports, and the tax document library. Payments is where you go for settlement reports and reconciliation on your finances. You can pull reports by ranges of date, or you can look at them through a transaction view. The Amazon Selling Coach is a tool that is in place to help with optimization. It helps you generate reports based on the type of products that you sell and the opportunities in the marketplace. You can always click the Learn More link in any category or subcategory to find out more about what's going on with that particular field. Under Business Reports, this gives you a look into your business analytics, how your listings are performing, how your sales are doing, detail page traffic, all different ways that you can pivot data. If you look through, then you can see that you can download reports also in this area via CSV. And then Amazon Selling Coach is also associated with this area. So you can click through specifically for inventory recommendations, and it takes you back to your Selling Coach portal. Lastly, under reports, you have the tax document library where you can generate a tax report and then pull down that information for reconciliation purposes. As for advertising, we have two different ways that you can do that on Amazon. You can do it through the Promotions tab where you create and manage your promotions, things like free shipping, money off, buy one, get one, etc. Or you can use the campaign manager known as Amazon Sponsored Product Ads. Sponsored Product Ads are a pay-per-click advertising strategy. If you want to learn more about that, we recommend that you read up on it here. You can create an ad campaign, and when you start, you get $50 in free clicks. Sponsored products show up in search results in the margins, and whenever someone sees your sponsored product, if they're interested and they click through, that is the time in which your account will be debited. So those are some of the high-level items on managing your overall account. Now we'll talk more specifically about managing inventory, managing and adding inventory via feeds, and then fulfilling orders when they come in. In the inventory section, you have manage inventory, add a product one by one, add products via upload, and then inventory reports. These are the areas that we'll focus on today. Under manage inventory, this is the look into your inventory once it's been added. You can see that under the image column, you have a thumbnail image. Under status, it tells you whether the item is active or inactive. Inactive simply means that there is not any inventory in available status, and that would make that product inactive, or there's some other reason why that product might not be active for sale. It gives you a column for the SKU, and then the product name creates a hyperlink that goes directly to the detail page for that product. Now, because these products are all in staging and in an inactive account, then the links are still here and it takes you to the ASIN page. So we have created a listing on an item that many people sell on Amazon. You can see when I go to the detail page for this ASIN that this item itself is being shipped and sold by Amazon. I can add this to cart and check out, and this is from whom I will buy it. Or there are other sellers on Amazon who sell these products, and I can click Used and New to go to the offer listing page and see all the different sellers that sell these products. You can see in some instances sellers have added business price, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and also quantity discounts. You can change availability, price, and business price, as well as add quantity discounts, all in the UI of Seller Central now. If you need to edit the back end of a product specifically, you can click from the drop down and select one of your choices, or you can simply click the edit button to go into the back end data of your listing and make changes based on the tab. If you want to take bulk action, like delete many items at once, you can select the items that you want to take action on and then choose from this list. You can also manage your inventory by looking through all inventory, suppressed items, listing enhancements, meaning items that have some sort of listing defect that needs to be addressed. You can manage pricing or your inventory dashboard. You can also click through the radio buttons to see only active products or inactive products. You can see the amount of products in that status here. Under inventory, to add a product one by one, you can go to add a product and search for that product by name UPC, ISBN, or ASIN. Let's say we want to sell an Xbox controller. If I just search for that, then I can find the appropriate product that I want to sell and then click Sell Yours. Or if I want to add products via upload, which is most typical, then I can go to the Add Products via Upload page. Under the Download Template button, find the appropriate template. There are also video tutorials and many other links on how this works, so if you need more self-help guide, it's always here. In the first table, under Choose a File Template, this is where you can grab the inventory loader or the price and quantity feed. If you have many products that you want to match to existing ASINs and you have those ASINs, you can do that through the inventory loader. Or if you have products already listed and you simply want to update price and quantity or add business price and quantity discounts, you can do that using the price and quantity feed. Or if you want to apply shipping override settings at a SKU level, you can do that using the shipping override feed. In the right-hand column, there are video tutorials on how to use each one of these templates. On the second table, we have our category feeds. The second column is the full category feed. We have style guides for each category in the third column and a browse tree guide to help you with categorization in the fourth column. If the category requires approval, you can view the requirements or apply for approval. But if you are listing in a category that requires approval, you should talk to your account representative. Simply grab the feed file by clicking the link. It is an Excel flat file, and open it up. On this file, we have an instructions page, which lets you know what's going on with the file. There's an images page, which gives you Amazon standard for images. Data definitions page, which tells you each field name, the label for that field name, and the definition of that field. It tells you whether or not it's required, and if there are specific acceptable values, as well as giving you an example. There's also an examples tab, which shows you what the information should look like in the template file, and a valid values table, which helps you understand exactly which parameters might surround a certain attribute field. On the template field, if there are specific valid values to which you must adhere, then typically each column will include drop-down items. For example, under product ID type, you have to choose from one of these four. I'll go ahead and open up a test upload feed I've already built. You can see that I've put the data in each column as it applies: SKU, brand, product name, manufacturer, manufacturer part number, etc. If the column header is bold, that typically means that it is required. The only exception for industrial and scientific products are the product ID type and product ID. This is a category that's exempt from needing a UPC or EAN. If you do have them, you should add them though. Some product fields are not necessarily bold and required, but the system will indicate that that information is desired, such as bullet points. You have 5 fields to add bullet points. You will receive a warning if you don't add at least 1 bullet point. That type of information can be understood by reading through the Data Definitions tab. We also have fields for business price and quantity price discounts. In this instance, we added a business price of $14 and then are offering a fixed quantity discount. So for every 5 items that a customer buys, they actually get each item at $12 a piece. And then if they buy 10 or more, then they get each item at $10 a piece, and you can add up to 5 levels of boundaries. Lastly, if you're creating a net new listing, that does not already exist or that you're not matching to on Amazon, then you need to have a valid image URL, which would be publicly accessible, meaning HTTP, and also end in the file type, so .jpg, .png, etc. So this file is full with minimum requirements and is ready to be added. So we'll save a copy of the file, then we'll save as a text tab delimited file, as you can see here, because that's how the Amazon system can ingest the data through a tab delimited format. Then I go to upload inventory files and I choose inventory files for non-media categories, as this is what it is. If I were adding an inventory loader or a price and quantity file or a shipping overhead file, then I would choose that field. For now, we'll choose inventory files for non-media categories, as it's a full category feed. Simply browse for the file, attach it like an email. My processing report is what tells me whether or not the product's uploaded successfully or not. If there were errors, it will indicate those. I can have that output in a text format that I open in Excel, or I can have it generated in Excel itself. If I want to receive a notification via email that my feed is done uploading, I can add my email here. If I want to check my file before I actually submit the feed, I can do that, and it will generate a processing report that I can review and make changes before uploading. Or I can simply upload the product, then take the processing report and make changes as necessary. When I click Upload Now, I'll get a green check that lets me know that the file has been received, and then the file will go into Request Submitted status. I click the Refresh button on the Inventory File Upload Status page in order to see the progress of the listing. So once the products are up in inventory, and we saw now live on Amazon, then customers are eligible to purchase those products. So now we'll walk through the order management process. This is the Manage Your Orders page. So when you have many orders on your Manage Your Orders page, you can see the column for date, the order ID and product details with a link to the actual order itself, a link to contact the buyer, the status of that order, and the estimated delivery date. In the action column, you can click buttons to confirm the shipment, cancel the order, or simply print a packing slip. Or once you've confirmed a shipment, then you can go in to edit shipments. On the confirmed shipment page, you'll see the ship date, as well as the carrier that you select, and then the tracking ID, which should be with every order that you confirm. Once you click Confirm Shipment, the customer receives notification that the order is in process and on its way. If for any reason you have to cancel an order, then you can click the Cancel Order button, select from the drop-down which reason you are using for the cancellation, and then Submit. If you need to edit the shipment after confirmation, you can go in, say you were not able to add tracking information at the beginning, you can go in and add that information later. You can also manage through a full and a partial refund. To learn more about full and partial refunds, you should read up on refunds and the refund process on Amazon. Now I'm going to look for the product that I uploaded earlier. Under Add Products via Upload, I can see that my item has been processed and activated. So I go back to the Manage Inventory page, and I'll type in the SKU that I used when I added the product. and it will search and find that product out of every product in my listings. If I click on the link, it'll take me to the detail page for that product. The last thing I want to focus on a little bit is another feature specific to Amazon business sellers, and that's called enhanced content. If I search for enhanced content and add enhanced content, it will take me to the page where I can access the enhanced content uploader. Enhanced content is for items such as MSDS sheets, user manuals, or other PDF type documents that you might want to add to your product listing. The availability of enhanced content is made using a URL similar to the image URL link that I showed earlier. So it needs to be a publicly accessible hosted PDF document that you add through the enhanced content finder. And the last thing that I will point out is the Get Support link. If you need any sort of technical help as a seller on Amazon, you can always go to the Get Support link and then go through the wizard to find information. Ultimately, you can have a seller support agent contact you via phone. You can start a chat, or you can submit a ticket via email. Thank you for attending.